Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jesse, your DM.
Cody playing Lazarus.
Brennan playing Dis.
Mike playing Nim.
Britt playing Kenna.
And we are Double Doubles and Dragons. We're a group of goofy Canadians that have gotten together to play a little D&D. Sometimes we will say things that are inoffensive. We mean them as jokes, of course, and they're certainly funny to us, but some people may find this offensive. If you do, we apologize, but we don't want any hate mail about it. So just don't listen, okay? Let's jump right into the action. Okay, guys, welcome back. So we've been on a little bit of a break. We had a week off, so we'll do a quick cover of everything that's happened in the last session to bring everybody back up to speed. Before we do that, however, we have, as ever, the popular experience points to give out. So everybody could get ready for that. Fine. Let me just check my notes here. Should be 600 experience.
So 26,800.
26,800.
What's that leave you at?
26,800.
26,800. Okay. Sounds good. Everybody has inspiration for this session, so definitely feel free to use it if you need it. So, covering off what happened last session. You guys were working on quests. You had chased after some wolves, you were in the woods, and you had found, through Nim's help, a wibbly-wobbly sort of portal that seemed to be doing all manner of strange thing to the area around it. You got pretty close to it and realized that it was really kind of messing with the local area and decided you better go check and make sure that, you're supposed to be doing something with things of this nature. So you retreated back to town, talked to Lil, got a little bit more information that these are not uncommon events and they represent some kind of incursion from the outside world that the Stronghold has been positioned inside, kind of reaching inside. Got told that it was totally fine to go try to shut it down, so you returned, decided to shut it down. Obviously, kind of glossing over Kenna, doing a little bit of wheeling and dealing, getting some extra little something in there for you. The promise of a goat and getting a good deal out of taking out I believe you lied to him and said there were bigger wolves was the problem that was actually getting taken care of.
I think he wasn't understanding the fact that there was a portal. So we just told him there was something more threatening. I don't think it was that big of a logic jump.
It was just putting it in terms he could understand.
That's right.
The way he explained it, or did...
No, Nim started talking about
did I get tricked by Nim too?
Probably.
Basically. So, you guys went and dealt with the portal, which was a little weird, but nevertheless has been taken care of. And then you got yourself a tiny, almost sadistically, adorably eyed goat, which was certainly interesting, which was named Kit. And then you headed back into town, where you decided, not directly into town. Kenna got left behind at the farm.
The sexy farmer.
That's right, sexy farmer man.
His voice just doesn't work.
It doesn't always. So you'd left Kenna there to do her druidic type stuff for a while. The rest of you had gone back to town, decided you were going to go start working on getting that stone from the ruins. You made your way off that way, and upon getting to the ruins, found out that they seem to be quite populated with life, actually. Weird, green, glowing-eyed life. And they didn't exactly enjoy your initial attempt at contact where you chucked a rock in their general direction, and that seemed to piss them off ever so slightly. And if I'm not entirely mistaken, you guys had retreated back for a little while to kind of let the wind and the weird noise they were making die down. And then your game plan right after that, as I recall, was to kind of sneak your way back there, and Lazarus is seeing if he can pop a stone off the ruined wall, which I believe is exactly where we had left off.
It is.
Is there anything that anybody wants to bring up that I might have missed, or anything they want to draw serious attention to?
Glow things, somewhat a whirlwind. So,
yeah, they definitely seem to be doing
one.
something with the wind. That is definitely unpleasant.
Let's not forget about that.
I'll read my card for the day.
Yes, let's do that.
To help heal this situation, see the other person's point of view with compassion.
I also have something, chainmail guy. Don't forget.
The tarot cards are always about Chainmail Guy.
Always.
Did you roll your dice as well, or no? You would have done that earlier.
I
Just a
haven't.
dream.
I
You
haven't.
just dream of the sound of chainmail.
That's not dreams; those are nightmares.
Yeah, definitely disses nightmares. What portent rolls do you have so everybody
I have an
knows
18 and a 16. So if you need to succeed something, let me know
before you roll it?
before you roll it.
Right.
So just remember
So I'll
you've
just
got
put
two.
up my hand if I'm about to die. Gotcha.
Yeah, you've got two semi-easy
You
successes.
got to do it in character, though. You got some of that luck.
Got any more of that luck?
No, boy.
Everybody suddenly gets really twitchy. Come on, man, you got any more of that luck? You know I need it.
Craving that luck.
Just wait till I get level 8 and take the lucky feat. Then I'll have all the luck.
Let's call you a leprechaun. That's how you become the leprechaun. It's the path.
Did you just call him the Luckricon?
Well, that actually works too. But
Okay, that's what I thought you called him.
you know, I'm
It's
gonna
good
say
to
I
know.
did do that because that's pretty good.
I'm just gonna say I came up with that. Thanks, Jesse.
It was here.
You bet, buddy. Okay, so if there's nothing else that anybody wants to cover off, then we can pick right back up with Lazarus lifting the rock up off the pile.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, Lazarus, to reset the mood for you, you had just snuck your way closer, and the little creatures were steadily retreating back away from you, giving you more and more access to the area, but maintaining a vigil upon you. And you'd gotten right up to the wall. And where was everybody else?
On the farm.
She's on the farm.
Kenna's perfectly safe on the farm.
Dis and Nim were like 15?
Yeah, it
I
was
feel like we're missing probably the most useful person right now, incidentally.
Well, such is life.
Yeah, I think we were like 15.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
like
like
about
15.
15.
Okay, so you got a little bit of distance. All right, so Lazarus, you start to pick up the rock, and as it kind of not cracks away from the wall, but as the crack of air appears as you start lifting it off. So you inside, you can't hear anything, as out of complete nowhere, a huge wind kicks up. And it's kind of like you're in the middle of a windstorm. Like you can't hear anything. It's just the whooshing sound of the wind. And that's basically all you have. For the two of you that are outside, so as soon as he picks up the rock, immediately you hear the and there's, instead of that kind of slow grind of wind that began, it goes from absolutely no wind at all to you are staring at the wall of a tornado, not even 10 feet in front of you, as it picks up and swallows Lazarus inside of it, encompassing the entire ruin.
You want to put the rock down now?
You certainly can, but I need an athletics check first because you are having a hard time staying on your feet.
Yeah, let's do that.
You want to stay on your feet?
Do you have to see him to port in him? I don't think so,
No.
right?
Double check.
The creature that you can see within range.
Okay, you can't port in him then.
I guess I can't.
I can use my inspiration then.
Sure. Lazarus uses his inspiration.
Hey,
Good
doing
help.
work.
I guess for Dis, well, like, I guess this
Nat
is
20
like,
for
happening.
26.
Okay. I do actually need an athletics check from you two as well. It's not as high of a DC, just because you're further
Like,
away.
when the tornado kicks up,
Yep.
Dis is gonna run towards it. I gotta save him, stay back!
Okay. Same thing still then, but your DC will obviously be higher because you basically are running into the side of a tornado.
Come for you.
Help. Been eaten.
Help, I've been eaten.
Sorry, athletics check?
Yes, from both of you. Nim as well. Nim, yours is going to be with disadvantage because you're so tiny.
Ooh.
You're much
I'm
easier
gonna
to
use my
pick up.
inspiration.
Okay.
I hope yours turns around like mine.
This is inspiration is gone.
It's better. Well, I mean, it couldn't have been worse.
I mean, you say that.
No, it couldn't have been worse.
Gotcha. That's a 1, ladies and gentlemen. that is a 1. Okay, so for each one of you, I guess, Lazarus, what was yours again?
26.
26, Dis, 11.
8.
Okay,
Oh boy.
so
Oh boy.
Lazarus, you realize shit is getting unhealthy, obviously, fairly quickly. You go to put the rock down, and as you do, you feel your whole body start to slide to the side as the wind starts to take you. But kind of reacting quickly, you whip your tail around and you grab onto one of the rocks on the wall with your tail and kind of anchor yourself there, and you start putting the rock down. But it's kind of like it's happening in slow motion because there's just so much wind, you're actively fighting it at this point. In the meantime, Dis has gone, sorry, your heroic line, I don't want to step over you.
I'm going to save you.
You don't hear any of that, obviously, because he's literally screaming at a wall of wind. But you go to run in, and you're like, I'm gonna get, and as soon as you hit the wall, you're up. You just get picked right up.
Can I see Lazarus at this point now?
As you start to tumble, yeah, you're getting flashes of him, then flashes of the outside.
Stay there, Lazarus. I'm going to save you.
That you would hear, but it's kind of like a stay there as it picks him up and starts turning him around the outer edge.
Oh boy.
Nim is kind of you watch Dis get picked up and you're just kind of and then you notice you're also floating, but not as hard or as fast. You're kind of on the outer edge of the wind, but you're also so light that it really doesn't seem to have had too much trouble picking you up, but you are nevertheless airbound at this point.
I guess I could do that. But that'll
It'd be like Zella, just whip on his boots.
Put the metal boots on and
I was prepared. No, I'm good.
Okay. So what I need from the two people that are outside is a perception check. And Lazarus, I assume you're going to keep trying to put the rock down.
Can I do something to assist myself?
As long as it seems reasonable enough, absolutely.
I want to channel divinity and grab myself with vines from the surface.
That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Then I'll try and do that.
Perfect. Roll an athletics check, but with advantage, because you'll obviously have the vines assisting you at this point. All right, for the two outside.
15.
17.
Okay. And Lazarus on the inside?
21.
Okay. So, as the two of you are getting picked up, Dis, you're obviously inside the wall, so you're kind of tumbling and getting this really, obviously very nauseating feeling as you feel yourself kind of moving quicker and quicker. Nim, you're on the outside and kind of doing a more slow, kind of gentle, like a trash can caught in an updraft, or a trash bag caught in an updraft, which fortunately leaves you not very tumbly, unfortunately leaves you much more able to see. And as you kind of watch, I guess Dis is starting to get around that outside edge of this tornado as it spins around the entire ruins. You watch as the side walls of that start to bulge outwards around the middle, and as they break off, you see two big arm-like extensions come out and around as this huge tornado starts gradually shifting into an air elemental.
Jesus Christ.
However, as its arms start to swing out, which Dis is now inside one of as he's kind of tumbling, Lazarus does manage, using the vines that are created by his divine channel divinity, he slams the rock back down onto the wall, and as soon as he does, all the wind dies. And everything stops. Just dead. And
look up.
Yeah, so Dis is just starting to fall. Nim, you were only about 10 feet off the ground by then. I do need dexterity saves from the two of you.
Oh, where is he? How high?
Dis is about 60 feet up or so.
Okay.
Superhero landing.
How far away is it from me?
Really, superhero landing? It's bad for your knees, you know.
How much is that up my DC
He's
back?
probably, let's see, he got all the way around the far side, but then it morphed into the arm and he would have started coming back towards you. So he's 60 feet up and say 40 feet over. Okay, Lazarus starts running.
Acrobatics?
Yes.
And if I can get myself at a good speed within 30 feet, I can a misty step.
Okay, yeah, we'll
I'll
see.
Misty step dive tackle him.
25.
25? Okay.
It might be fine now. Just
I mean,
skip off
if you
my
would
head.
try it anyway. I mean, you don't know if he's going to make
he
it or
was
not.
60 feet up. I'd probably try and save that.
Okay, so you're going to do the blink anyway. So do a dexterity save as well.
But would I
I don't
would
know.
I notice him coming towards me, or
You
would
were
I still be
flipping.
so disoriented?
I mean, you'd be flipping around a
I would
lot.
be.
I would say do a Constitution save. Let's see how well you've fared in the Twister.
13.
You're not doing too badly. Like, you've obviously been spun around quite a bit, but as soon as the wind died, you were kind of able to start getting your bearings. So I think you'd see him coming.
Okay, I would assume I try to as within the limits of my dexterity, I try to just try to avoid him, avoid just flipping perfectly on his head or something.
Yeah, something horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so and yours was what again? Sorry,
25.
25. Lazarus.
18.
Okay, and Nim, how did you do?
16.
Okay, so the wind dies. Dis starts to fall while screaming.
Watch out! Superhero landing.
He's not he's tumbling. He's not. Doesn't look like he's
I've only
ready
caught
for the superhero landing at all.
word as he rotated.
Yeah, exactly.
Super landing.
Super landing.
They'd be like, oh, he's going to land super. Okay, well, that's fine. So, Nim, you're fine. You only had 10 feet to drop, and you do manage to land on some grass and a little bit of some other stuff to kind of absorb your fall. In the meantime, Lazarus, you are booking full tilt towards Dis. Dis is doing his best to land the landing properly. You feel like you're getting really close, and you go to do the Misty Step, and he's gone. And you do that kind of, where'd he go? And then you just hear the boom behind you. And you turn around, and he's okay. He almost stuck the superhero landing. He ended up, at the very last minute, he ended up having to do a little bit too much leg bend to stop from dying.
But I landed behind him, right?
Yes.
Nailed it. That was perfect. I wish you could have seen it. Would have changed your world.
I won't look and see if Nim's looking at me.
Nim had a pretty open view of all of it, so yeah.
I'll look over at Nimby and just try to silence him.
Does the draw your finger across the neck? Don't talk.
I stopped halfway through and I'm like,
They got pretty serious.
It was dark. I just pointed Dis, and that I want that to be my somatic component for a minor illusion. And I just want a minor illusion that a little
Little applause. We can do that. We can do a little applause.
just a thumbs up back.
Perhaps Lazarus is going to have to practice catching.
Just don't even be worried when I'm falling. I'm always gonna stick it.
You were pretty high. Instinct.
That's true. Thank you. What happened?
Good landing. We're not going to touch those rocks from now on.
So, I don't want to interrupt while you're both sitting there talking about how amazing your landing is. But as you kind of come out of that conversation, and I'm sure as Nim has probably been trying to signal you for at least the last couple of seconds, you are surrounded by tiny creatures that are all just looking up at you with those big green eyes.
Well, shall we be on our way?
Hey there, critters.
They just, there's easily 30 or 40 of them around you, and as you're like, hey little critters, they all, in perfect unison, tilt their head a quarter to the side.
Well, we're gonna die.
Oh. Lazarus does not like these type of small fuzzy creatures.
You got any more of those teleporty things?
Just a couple for Lazarus.
Oh, shit.
I feel like Nim's just already walking back towards town. It's it was nice knowing you guys.
I got a plan. I'm gonna darkness our way out of this. It's gonna be pitch black. We just have to remember where Nim is and run towards him.
Also, how many, is it stone wall right by him or something?
No, he was further back, so he's away from the ruins.
And we're us two. We get a ring around us.
Yes.
And then he's off to the side with a smaller.
Off to the side, they hadn't quite gotten to him yet. They were moving towards you. Two were just closer.
Now, would you say all these critters fit in a 15-foot radius square?
They've hugged you pretty tight. Yeah, they've hugged you pretty tight.
We're in darkness and we move.
Do you want me to throw you?
But we can probably just run through. Hopefully. I can't stick
Lazarus
another.
Does not want to step on those things.
You don't have to see them. That's the beauty of this. We just run, just pretend they're not there. Solid ground. They're ghosts anyhow. I'm sure.
Forget how heavy he is when Lazarus falls.
They'll be fine. They're spirit animals.
Lazarus
changing
is
my
concerned
story as
for
it goes on.
Lazarus.
It's just desperately trying to convince Lazarus with any means necessary. They're ghosts. I mean, they're not going to be that heavy. I mean, you'll be fine.
All right, let's revisit the throwing strategy. Can you throw me 15 feet? You think? Like if I boost into it, can you give me like a boost?
Lazarus could probably paddle you quite high.
All right, I want to set this up with
So, like, we're gonna...
Okay. Yeah, you're going to do the throw him with both hands sort of thing.
I'll step on it, like, setting up to do, like, a front flip that I can visibly see. I was going for style at first, but not this time.
Okay, fair enough. And then are you going to darkness right after that? or-
No, I won't cast darkness this time, since you have Misty Step.
Okay.
When you jump on me, straighten your leg.
Oh boy, I'm going to the moon if it was here.
Certainly higher than Lazarus, hopefully.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, then athletics rolls from both of you.
Does he have to do athletics? Or...
Do I get acrobatics?
Acrobatics would be more if you were trying to land. I think this is just how
I'm using the
strongly
strength of
can
my
you
legs.
push off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
that's my thought anyway.
Ooh. Meant for me too.
7.
15.
Okay, so it's a good plan. It's pretty solid, but just with all the stuff you have on and the panic, you go to start doing the throw, and right as you do, the little critters start nipping at your ankles. And it throws you right off.
No, it's like like a mouse and an elephant, and Lazarus is like...
Yeah. And I mean, like, Dis does still get thrown, but it's kind of like cocked to like 10 degrees to the wrong angle, and he gets thrust in a bit of a tumble, and it wasn't coming like on 3, it came at like 2, and so you didn't push off very well, and the whole thing just kind of turned into a clusterfuck. And yeah, you go, we'll call it 10 before you land. You're fine. He didn't throw you that far. And I guess whatever you want to do after that. I assume you start running now.
Did I land on anything?
No, you cleared the critters.
Yeah, I'm just going to run up to where Nim is.
Okay, you'll start
And then
running.
I'll turn around back with Lazarus.
Okay, so you start running. And what's Lazarus gonna do? You're still in, and they're still nipping at your ankles, although they don't really seem to be getting through the armor so hot.
Well, I mean, it's not really doing anything to me. Probably just like... It just takes after this.
Wait, did you... My plan!
Yeah, he decided not to blink and just decided to run
I
instead.
guess it works. We didn't use anything.
Okay, so you begin running, and you're kind of like, they're not so bad. Like you don't feel any pain down
I'm
there.
just kind of like avoiding them.
Directly counter to Dis's point about them clearly not being real creatures, you do hear a couple squishes, and that little bit of a slippery feeling when you plant your foot.
Why did I walk right on top of it?
They're literally all around you.
Oh, God.
So you make it out, like they can't stop you, but
Okay.
you stomp like 3 or 4 of them to death on your way out.
What are you going to tell the druid?
I don't know. They weren't natural.
But nevertheless, you escape the circle, and they don't really seem to be giving chase. However, for those of you that are a little bit further away, Dis, and I mean Nim, obviously you're further away, you do notice that as Lazarus stomps 3 of them to death, their eyes do glow a little bit brighter, and now they're all pointing at him as best they can with their various tiny appendages, but nevertheless don't appear to be giving chase.
But they're pointing at him.
Yes, kind of like a "you did this" sort of gesture.
No, you nibbled at my
And with
ankles.
my
They knew what you
speech
did
to
last
small
time.
animals, I don't understand.
No, they still are not speaking like real creatures.
Okay.
They don't
I
speak
suppose,
common,
I just
right?
run over and rejoin them.
They're not pursuing you guys, so really honestly, even once you're 30 feet away, they seem pretty far off.
Well, what the hell was that column of wind?
Do we torch it?
The whole place?
Lazarus thinks we should stay clear altogether.
We need stones to rank up.
There were other ruins we can use as well.
But didn't they specifically want them from this one? Could we
Only
go to
that
those?
this was the closest now.
Oh. Yeah, maybe we should try another one. Or we can at least go back and tell people about the air elemental and see if they've seen, or the wind thingy. I don't think I've ever seen an air elemental.
I mean, It was a creature made of wind. I'm not entirely sure that's an impossible logic jump for you to make.
Him telepathically. So I'd probably have stories of stuff.
I would probably
Yeah.
have seen water elementals.
Yeah, I mean, you lived on the coast.
They're elemental.
Lazarus has not seen anything of that size before. Lazarus had to use his vines just not to take off.
Yeah, I didn't have much luck either.
It all completely stopped as soon as I successfully put the stone back.
Is it any stone? Do you think? Like,
Are you going to try?
I mean, I could.
This is next.
It didn't really look like a special stone that Lazarus picked up. I think it was just a run-of-the-mill wall stone, so...
Could we test the theory?
That would be pretty unlucky if it only was one.
How about you test the theory, Lazarus and I'll go get Kenna, and if we come back and you're not here, we'll assume everything went A-okay.
I don't know, it doesn't seem that safe.
This is going to take the express route back to town.
Yes, have you done something to anger Nim?
Seems pretty swift to abandon you, I guess is the
I
point.
want you to know I wasn't threatening you with the... I meant shh. You know, but...
Nim took that gesture super personally.
No, it was
I'm
just...
sorry, little buddy.
It's all good, Dis.
No, that's just condescending.
I'm just suggesting if you want, to test other stones, go for it. Wouldn't recommend it.
Lazarus is the only one that can currently blink.
I knew Dis was going to say something about that. He just stopped himself. For those of you that can't see, Dis is just blinking his eyes super aggressively, trying to be like, I can blink.
Thank you, Dis.
You're welcome.
Oh, goodness. Okay, what do you guys want to do?
Shall we head back, or is there more we can do here?
I will not pick up the stone.
That's
Is there anything now, if you try to look? Magical vision.
Oh.
Go gadget magic vision.
I will cast Detect Magic using a first-level spell slot.
Very well.
Magic
Wait,
hat.
just to humor him, how do you
voice
activate?
is stuck.
Like, what do you say to do that?
I guess I'm like, go Magic Vision!
Magical vision.
Magical Vision!
Thank you.
So, like, your eyes start to cloud over silver, then he corrects you, it, like, leeches back, then you do it again, it comes back. So as you take a look down, there's definitely more magic activity down there now. Kicking up whatever that was has definitely condensed a lot more magic in the area. However, do an Arcana check for me.
Oh, that's a casual 25 on Arcana.
Is very arcanic. So it's no surprise that after taking a moment to study the area, Nim notices something that wasn't there before you triggered whatever this defense mechanism was. Twice, I might add. That now in the center of the ruins, he can see already the precursors of the ground beginning to kind of wave outwards.
So it's an early one.
Definitely something's beginning to grow in the middle.
The ground in the middle of the ruins, it looks all wavy. I think we need we need to dispel this as well.
Are you not
wobbly?
also able to get it at some point?
Well, yeah, I just don't have, she has dispel magic. I don't.
Such as it is.
Lazarus believes he has heard you talk about it before.
I think it's level 3, isn't it? Oh, I only have 3 level 3s.
Should we, wait around and see what forms of this and just take our distance so we can report back and see if it's something that we can actually deal with?
You do feel like you have at least a couple of hours before Kenna would be heading back to town.
Okay.
Or perhaps we could even talk to our handler a bit more.
Is there a hill nearby we could set up on and watch?
Yeah, definitely it's a little bit more hilly in this area.
How long does your detect magic last?
Only 10 minutes. I believe.
We
I'll
can-
double check, but I'm pretty sure.
I think it's 10 minutes. That sounds right.
Can you cast it on other people?
No, self-cast.
Only Nim gets to see the magic.
Would you even understand anything if I cast it on you, Dis?
Oh, shots fired.
Is it because I'm a swashbuckler?
It is.
Yeah, it's definitely because
That's
of that.
exactly what it is.
Definitely because of that.
I guess that makes sense.
That almost seems like a legitimate reason. All right, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's concentration, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Range self.
Okay. All right. What would you guys like to do then? What's the plan?
We'll just set up on a hill until... Because how far from town are we?
What did we say? About 2 hours?
Okay.
So you've got some time.
How long do you think it'll take for whatever's happening to happen?
I don't know. I think I'll watch it until my detect magic runs out. We can wait a bit longer. I can cast it again and we'll see.
Sounds good.
Okay. That seems fair. So you guys retreat back to the hill. Your detect magic wears off after it's 10 minutes, and things don't really appear to have changed. How long do you want to wait before casting again to try to get that frame of reference if anything's changing?
I don't know. Do we have an hour?
Oh, easily.
Okay.
You probably got a couple.
Okay. Well, I'll wait at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Okay.
I'm going to short rest in that, I guess, since we're sitting there.
Makes sense.
Actually, yeah. I'll short rest too, just to get my spell slots back.
That makes sense. And sorry, Lazarus, you're doing squats?
Yep.
Nice. Got to work on those, because you almost got picked up by a tornado. So you got to work on those legs.
This skips leg day. Showed.
That's right. Just got picked up real easy. Don't skip leg day, kids. Okay, so you're going to take some time. In the meantime, Kenna, I need you to do a survival check as you're sitting there doing your 8 hours of druidic magic.
13.
Okay. So, after a couple of hours, they've been gone for a little while. You're sitting there and you're in the process of channeling your energy out into the fields. You're very in tune with the local land, the dirt, the plants, that sort of thing. And for just a moment, it just feels off. Something shifts a little and it just doesn't feel right for a second, but it's like a fraction of a second.
My spidey senses are tingling.
Just your druid senses, whatever you choose to call them. I don't know if spidey senses are trademarked, but
Probably. Sorry. Apologize.
I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, I mean, there is that moment where just something doesn't quite feel right, but it dissipates quickly. You're kind of like, okay, that was a bit weird. And then about 3 minutes later, it hits again, but it's harder this time. It's almost just slightly disorientating. You feel a little nauseous for a minute. And then after that, there's just kind of that leftover feeling of just kind of, oh, that was a bit strange.
And how long have I been blessing the fields at this
About
point?
half to a little more than that.
It's only 4 hours in.
Give or take, 4 or 5.
Is Farmer around?
He's in the near vicinity anyway.
Peter Harvester?
Yeah, Peter's around.
Keeping my concentration going.
Yeah, there's nothing to say you can't.
I'd probably yell at Peter.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Peter.
What's that now?
Does something feel a little off right now?
You see him he dead stops, and he does that looks around, seems to kind of be taking internal stock, flexes a couple of times. No, I feel alright.
Not you, but does something seem off in the world?
I'm not gonna lie, Peter gives you a look. It's kind of like not, it's that look of oh, why are the hot ones always so crazy? That's you just get that little bit of a look. Where he's just kind of what are you talking about? But he's much too polite to say anything. So you just kind of, no, I can't say I do.
All right, well, maybe it's just my thing I'm doing.
He just kind of nods. Well, all right. You let me know you need any help.
All right.
And he just kind of goes back to doing his thing.
Jerk.
Good dog.
Give me crazy eyes.
I mean, there's just this lady sitting in his cornfield, asking him if the world feels funny. I don't think it's all that out of place for him to be a little unsettled.
You sound like such a hippie right now. Does just world feel like not right, man?
Guys, she's a druid.
It's not the real bit of green.
I always knew those druids used those drugs.
It's a druid. Like, I don't know. Do you not envision a druid being the ultra hippie?
Don't do druid drugs, kids.
Don't
The
gotta
druid
do
drugs would have the
druid.
best drugs.
Probably.
Fact.
Yeah, fact.
Hit,
Legit
hit
fact.
me up for my herbal services later.
That's how you learn the spells in the first place, probably.
Surf and Turf at this time feels the need
Soul
to tell
surgeon.
children, do not go looking for druids to give you drugs. Don't do that.
Also, the druids in the real world are kind of... Wow, that's a different story.
Yeah,
It's a
we'll
whole
leave
other thing.
that where it lies. So yeah, that's kind of I would imagine, unless you see differently, that you probably just kind
I'd
of get
probably
back
keep
at it.
going because I have no reason to go about it, and I probably am saying a little hope that it wasn't these guys screwing something up.
No.
No.
What are the odds of that?
Now
Kenna?
Lazarus stepping on something Miley's protecting or something accidentally.
In the meantime,
Killed some more animals.
about an
Yep.
hour has
She's gonna be so
passed. Nim, do you want to go ahead and take another look?
Yeah, I've recovered all my spell slots. So
You feel like pretty soon you'd have to start heading back to town to not hit that semi-instantaneous darkness.
Okay. So I'll quickly cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Your eyes glaze over with white, this time uninterrupted by Lazarus's comments.
Mhm.
And you take a look out into the ruins, and for good or for ill, not a lot appears to have changed. The ripples are still there. They don't really look any worse or better than they did an hour ago. So for better or for worse, not much has changed.
All right. Well, let's get out of here before I huck a fireball.
I'll get it! Womp.
Very well then, back to town.
Okay.
Let's go.
You guys begin heading back to town. Kenna, when you're done, are you just going to head back to town as well? Is that the game
'cause
plan?
Peter's been a dick now.
Yeah, it's Peter's fault. It's definitely Peter's fault. Okay, so you've finished for the day. Obviously, we'd already talked about you've probably been able to cover. I don't believe you've collected anything from him yet.
No,
Yeah,
I have not.
yeah. So I guess if you
I
like to
was
do that
never
before you
told
leave.
that there was something to collect from him. I was told to sit in a field for 8 hours and do my druid thing.
Okay.
And the druid thing's done. Did he collect the...
Druid thing is done. I might go tell him that I'm done.
Okay.
Who has the
Oh, yeah.
quest slip anyway?
Isn't that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
He
the
has
quest,
it.
The
Yeah,
quest.
but I
slip.
mean...
Oh, right, yeah. You guys.
I feel like Kenna will just go talk to him.
I would go talk to him. He would probably have that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Peter.
He just kind of he looks up. He's on a chair on his kind of front porch, a little rocking chair, and just kind of looks up. Oh, are you all done?
Yeah, I am.
Well, all right. And he just kind of looks out into the field, and I forget. Does the 8-hour year-long thing? That's a pretty instantaneous effect, if I recall correctly.
No, it's the instant one is the instant effect. The 8-hour one
It's
isn't.
just double
It's not
yield, right?
obvious until the yield.
Gotcha. Okay,
But they
that
would
feels
look
right.
fuller.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
it
look
would look-
healthy.
it would look
yeah,
healthier.
they'd look healthy, and I'm sure an experienced farmer would be knowledgeable enough to know the difference. And he looks out at the field and he goes, "Well, they sure look good. Suppose we'll have to wait and see if they deliver on your promise.
Oh, they will.
But otherwise, I'd say we're pretty much done here."
Probably. Do you have that little slip of paper? Because we finished.
Right, I sure do. And he reaches into the overalls and just kind of pulls out the piece of paper and hands it to you.
All right.
He goes, "I imagine you could go give that to Lil."
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
"All right, you take care now."
You too. Enjoy the crops.
He kind of nods. You do know, you can't help but notice during the entire discussion, he's put just a little bit more distance between the two of you than he had been previously. There's just that, a little bit of wariness has creeped into his stance.
Sure.
It's a phrase I'm just trying so hard not to say right now.
I'm not crazy.
Make sure you yell that on the road as you leave. I'm not crazy! That'll teach him.
Just walk with me like, just because you can't feel what the world is feeling means you're crazy, not me. Just kidding. Don't yell that, obviously.
We don't need stories of the crazy druid on the farming run. Going around screaming at people.
Nim's just gonna tell everyone she's off her meds.
That seems pretty Nim-like. Okay, so Kenna begins to head back to town as well. Kenna, your trip is, I don't want to use the phrase uninteresting, but it's uneventful.
It's uninteresting.
Well, I mean, for you it's interesting. There's a lot of plant life around. Everything is very alive here, so that would be a very nice change for you from how the world is. But other than that, it's pretty uneventful, so I imagine you just kind of have a very pleasant walk back towards town.
What time is it about?
You're not entirely sure, but you imagine you'll probably get back to town just before nightfall.
Well, that's good, because I'm blind.
Oh, yeah.
Blinded without the light. Blinded without the light. There you go.
It's not quite how that song goes, but
No.
it works.
We avoided copyright.
As a sharp contrast, the three of you walking back towards town is not so much eventful in the walk, but I imagine now would be a really good time to get your story straight.
So, that, first menu on the, first item on the plate here. What are we going to say about the animals? Do we just not mention that? Like, you stepped on a couple of them?
Lazarus will have to fess up for that.
Well, no, let me see your shoe thing. You have
Lazarus
shoes.
does not wear anything for shoes.
Can I see your weapon you used to murder them?
Here, let me get that. And Nim just prestidigitations both of Lazarus's feet.
Thank you, Master Nim.
All right,
We got a guy.
the tiny bits of animal guts
Thank you.
has been cleaned off of his toes.
Now, we never speak of this again, correct?
No,
I will point out those
Lazarus said he will fess.
They weren't real animals.
That Lazarus will agree with for now.
Just, make sure you phrase it that way. I stepped on some illusions.
Oh no, they weren't illusions.
I think
they
the
were not
toe
real
jam was
animals.
very clear.
Or you just say, physical illusions. They're they're illusions, but they're the exact opposite of illusions. Makes total sense.
That's about Dis's level of magic knowledge for you.
So you could just say they're shells without souls?
I mean, that works. I don't know
Okay.
your fancy pants book talk.
It's all that book learning. You gotta do some. I mean, we established last session that you can read, so...
Do you have a book I could read then? I'm sure you'd be willing to lend me one.
I mean, once we get to the
Hold
library...
on. Where do we go from setting our story straight?
A tangent was where they went.
Alright, well, we better get back to town. Well, I guess we're still heading back. So.
What's the plan?
Oh, well, we just... we told...
Let
Please make that
Lazarus
sound again.
take the lead.
The first time Nim knew for sure he was afraid of Kenna.
Well, I mean, we don't lie, but we don't
No.
tell the truth.
See, now I'm on Nim's side for this one. That sounds like a good
Solid.
idea.
We omit key pieces of information.
Yeah, there's no point, you just teleported out, or just walked out of there. We don't need to mention that you
What are
stepped
you
on
two
anything but
even
the
concerned with? You
I
did
mean-
not injure any of them.
But if Kenna's like,
We're a
They're
party.
scared.
I mean, if she ever says the words, "Did you step on and kill any animals?" you say yes. Like, we're not lying. But we just, when it's like, "Hey, when you guys left, anything else happen?" It's like, not of note.
Yeah, the day was kind of nice.
Well then, Master Nim, you had better hope you are the one talking.
It's a great plan. I can't wait to see how it works out. And we will in just a moment because you're both at town. Yay.
I just imagine we walked in, like, having this conversation.
Yeah, like the three of you are still arguing about what lie to tell as, like, you can see her in the distance on the other end of the road. So they look very animated.
Best behavior, boys.
Whereas you're just kind of like, nature, so pretty. And they're all like yelling at each other and making big hand motions that you can barely make
And I
out.
noticed that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I don't think you could fail to notice it.
I mean, with 18 perception at all given times, probably not.
Plus, they're probably disturbing the nature with their yelling.
I'm a nature paladin.
I didn't say you would normally not be disturbing it, but clearly Nim is agitated.
I can probably see him, like, shaking in, like, fear. I don't know, why are you so scared of Kenna? Now it sounds like she is crazy, you
No,
guys.
it's just funny.
So it was a really weird right angle there.
Yeah.
We can't tell Kenna that. She's crazy. She'll kill one of us, I swear. But yeah,
Don't want to anger the healer. It's like the cardinal rule.
I mean, not wrong.
Fair.
So you guys are heading into town. As you arrive and you get within about 100 feet of each other and close into the tavern, you hit nighttime. And I do mean hit, because it just kind of bunk nighttime.
And we're like down the road a bit.
Down the road a little bit, but there's enough light from the tavern and from Lil's tavern.
Oh,
You're fine.
now that is always a bit spooky.
I'll wait for them.
Guys, we haven't talked about what we're going to do about the actual portal or whatever's appeared.
No, we're going
We'll wait
to
for
take
that.
Kenna to it.
They stop like 80 feet away from you because Dis is like, wait, we didn't talk about this.
And then
Okay, I walk over to them because I'm like, what is the issue here? And I'm listening because I'm like, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm sure, I mean, they can all see you, I would imagine at this point. So I imagine there's that, like, when you get into what they think is earshot, they all just stop talking.
And Nim goes,
Hi, Kenna.
Yeah, I'm sure it's super not obvious at all.
So,
Lazarus is probably just like amused by it.
what happened at the ruins?
Well, that was certainly an interesting experience.
What was so interesting about the experience?
Well,
Here,
Lazarus
how
pick-
about we discuss this over a beer?
What
Lazarus,
happened at the
interpretive dance.
ruins? Lazarus, what?
Many things. We might as well have a seat and dinner while we talk.
I will explain it to you through dance. I've
No.
been waiting my opportunity.
I'm not your god that you need to dance to.
That's my god. Thank you
Oh,
very
sorry.
much.
We haven't
This
confirmed that for
just-
either of them.
No.
Mine just respects it.
This just enjoys it.
Alright, well, I guess let's go have some dinner. I gotta give Lil the slip anyways.
Write the slip.
Also, pretty sure Peter Farmer, whatever his name, harvester person, thinks I'm crazy. Also, did you guys feel anything weird with this, like, rung level today? I got, like, two
Oh,
bursts
weird,
of, like,
yes.
weird energy.
Well,
There
that's
was
really
some
weird.
weirdness
I
happening.
wouldn't know.
Oh. How come he felt it and you didn't? You were at the same place.
I'm not very magically inclined.
I mean, not wrong. So, okay. It's fair.
I won't even roll the persuasion. That was solid.
Okay.
that was solid.
That's what I felt
We
like.
buy that.
Unless you consider sudden typhoons in the mid-plains normal.
What?
Just
Alrighty.
like point inside.
as they usher you inside, very delicately, one would imagine. Lil gives you a wave as you come inside and indicates towards a table in the corner. It's one of about 3 that are unoccupied. There's actually quite a few people in today. It's over half full. There's just kind of some general conversation going on. There is a lute player up at the stage sort of area where the littler bar is. And he's just up there kind of playing random melodious tunes.
Is it good?
It's not good,
Okay, so it's
but it's
good.
not great.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not grating.
It's not hurting
You
my
know.
ears.
No.
Okay.
Is he like? How's he accepting? Is he accepting tips? Is there coins? Are people like tossing it up?
He actually doesn't seem to be taking any tips currently. Like, he doesn't have a hat down or anything like that. But there are people that are paying attention to the performance. If you kind of wait and see what happens when it ends, you might have a better idea of kind of what they're doing for payment, or
Oh,
if
like-
any.
While we're in conversation, I'll just keep an eye.
Yeah, that seems fair.
I want to make sure that wherever Nim sits, he wants to be like within 10 feet of the loot player.
Okay. Within 10 feet of the loot player, so like right up at the stage.
Essentially. I'll be like, I'll suggest like a booth near the stage or a table if there's no booths.
Okay. The table that Lil had pointed to was a little bit further away than that, but there is an open one right next to it.
Okay, I'll be like, let's go over there.
Why are we going over there when Lil pointed us to this table?
Let's go over here. I want to sit over here.
Like he likes the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lil just gives you a casual shrug. Again,
Do
just
I
kind of...
believe
I mean,
him?
how much music have we really experienced in our lives? Let's enjoy it a little bit.
I mean, I guess that's fair. Yeah.
He's got a
Yeah,
point.
that's a good point.
I
That's
think
a good
that's
point.
fair. Lil just kind of shrugs and goes, well, that's all right. Go ahead.
Goes down.
And then...
Can I get you guys anything?
I think we're gonna need a round of beers.
All right.
I'll
we
even
can-
let you have a real beer
we can
today.
swing that.
Wait, what was that?
4 silver?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, 4 silver for all of you together.
Have you pulled a fast one on Lazarus as well?
No, I've just been screwing with this for a few days.
Well,
What?
that is fine then.
I keep switching
Yeah, I'll come
whatever
up
you're
with
drinking.
silver. No, no,
Sometimes
I
it's
think
beer,
Ken
sometimes
already
it's water,
covered it.
another
Well,
times it's
and by
water,
I
you think
covered
it's
it, I
beer,
mean
so-
we covered it.
You
It's
can
from
do
the
that?
back.
That's
That's
crazy.
fine.
I know.
Can you turn water into wine?
I can make you think it is.
Almost as valuable.
Lil, like, when this is, like, almost as valuable, Lil's, like, just nodding along. Like, yeah, that's almost as good.
But immediately what I want to do is when I get within 10 feet of the loot player, I want to add a backup band using prestidigitation because it lasts an hour. So I can do like 3 like beats, like non-instantaneous ones. So I'll just kind of add like a bass line and then like a little like drum.
Okay.
Maybe something a little higher too, like a triangle.
I want a performance roll for how well that sounds.
Actually, you know what?
How good that
It's like
sounds,
the end of the day, so I'm just going to use my 18 on important.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
which puts it up to performance. That's 20.
Nice.
Okay, you do see the lute player kind of pause for a moment as your back band swells behind him, but he slips into it fairly effortlessly, seems relatively performance practiced, and just kind of slips right into it. He doesn't seem to be really clear on where it's coming from, so he just kind of goes with it.
I just wanted to improve the quality, just that.
Yeah, it sounds really good. You do notice, interestingly enough, that Lil kind of catches your eye and gives you just a quick little, like, thanks for that nod.
Nice.
Are people throwing coins at?
He hasn't finished yet.
Okay.
We haven't even gotten you beers yet, so it hasn't been too long yet.
And I'll make sure, like, if he changes songs or whatever, I'll stop the prestidigitation and, like, update it. To kind of...
In the meantime, Lil comes back with the drinks and just kind of, would you like something to eat as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Also, I got this slip for you.
Oh, perfect. You finished your first quest then.
Sure
Yes,
did.
we have.
Fantastic. And did you get commendation from both sides? Everything went well?
As far as we are all concerned, yes.
Fantastic. It's good to hear. Well, all right. I'll go ahead and get this submitted right away.
Oh, Kit would still be in my backpack.
Absolutely.
At this point, I'd be like, Lil, I got Kit right here. Is it okay if is she allowed in here?
As you mentioned, Kit, the like head pops out of the bag and just kind of a quick bah! And Lil just kind of, well, isn't he adorable?
I know, just the cutest, right?
I think I could probably find something for him.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much.
All right. Anything else? Will you need more than one glass?
That may depend.
Potentially.
All right. Out of curiosity, obviously I can check on it later, but which of the two have you finished?
Oh, the farming one, the poop.
Ah, the fertilizer gathering.
Mhm.
Perfect. Nice to see.
Oh,
Ruins are coming right along then, I imagine, as well?
We have yet to update the group on this.
Ah, well then I will leave you to it, and I will come back with
don't you guys have the pieces of the wolves, too? To give to Lil?
Oh, yeah, we did take the hides from Gorbeck.
The 2 tails. Didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Did we not turn them in?
thought
I
we
think
turned
you
those
did
in.
that already.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, I
You
couldn't
did do that
remember.
already.
Yeah.
I think we got 5 gold per.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
yeah.
we got the portal stone.
Did
that
we
one
we
put
hundred
bring
the
back.
gold in here?
Yep.
Okay.
That's why it's...
Yeah, we have that.
Cool.
Well, she says she'll go grab your food, and she moves away, leaving you to just the melodious background music and your own conversation, such as it is.
Well, now.
So, Kenna, is that music putting you in a better mood, you know?
I'm not in a bad mood. Why would you think I'm in a bad mood?
Okay.
Almost as soon as Nim says that, the lute player takes a small break. Like, you're like, the music's great, and he's like, all right, thank you. I'm just gonna take a quick break, and I'll be back with a new song. And he just like, as he kind of starts heading off the stage, you notice as he walks through the room, he goes right down the center, and he's got the long hat that he's wearing. He just kind of holds it out in front of him, and people are dropping coins in as he goes by.
I mean, we're right there, right?
Yeah, you're right there.
I mean, Lazarus will toss in the silver as he goes. I don't. Well, like, what are other people tossing in?
Do a perception check.
Good. I don't want to like jilt this dude. Oh, well, not very perceptive. I guess passive. 14.
Okay. You're not entirely sure, to be honest. You just don't have a really good angle of what's going into the hat.
All right, and the gold's like
Does
Not
seem
worth a lot.
inflated here a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
We
you
could
do
toss
know it's
him.
5 gold a night here.
yeah.
We could toss him like a couple gold from the bank.
I think we should
A
like
gold?
total of like 5 for like the whole group.
4.
Give him
4.
copper.
I was actually gonna give him
Dis.
copper, but I mean, I would say 4. There's 4 of
Yeah,
us.
so we
That's
all
a
flip
gold
one
per
coin.
person. So I'll take from the bank.
So we all flip in a gold.
And just out of pure how it looks in the room, does everybody chip in a gold coin, or does Kenna put 4 in herself?
I try to toss one from where I'm sitting.
Okay.
So I guess we all put one in then?
Okay. So
So I
each
hand
one
them
of
out
you.
to you guys, and then
Or
Fine.
we'll just...
I think they do have a little bit of gold themselves
So-
as well.
so
if they'd
not
rather
you don't
use
want to
that.
use the
Yeah,
bank.
we can just do it that way.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll just
we'll
use
do it
one of
that
my
way.
10 gold.
Makes more sense
Okay.
at least.
I don't know
I'll
how.
use one of
I think
mine.
it was your background.
Yeah, it was your
Plus-
background. I only have 12.
It's because you went between
82.
camps.
Oh yeah, that's right.
82.
That's right.
Lazarus lived with some bodies. It just was the original bank for that.
That's right. Okay, so as he goes by, each one of you flip a gold coin in, and he seems very appreciative. He actually stops at your table and just kind of looks at the table and goes, "Right on, guys, right on."
Cheeky grim.
And he just kind of keeps walking up to the bar.
What does this guy look like?
Kind of like he's on the older side.
Okay.
Seems weathered a little bit. Think not quite as bad as Keith Richards, but like in that vein. Looks like an old rocker.
Like Steven Tyler?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
All right.
Yeah, but not quite that old. Because I mean, like that's old.
70 something.
Like,
77?
he's not that old,
Married to a 29-year-old, something like that.
but he's definitely weathered.
Okay,
would be
cool.
the and yeah, he just kind of looks like he's just a weathered out rocker.
Okay.
Okay, back to your conversation. Actually, I suppose you know what? I'll be kind and giving, and I'll give the boys at the table our usual break to try to come up with something better than they came up with on the walk. So
Lazarus was going to do.
I'm
So
just going
we'll-
to ask Lazarus. He can't lie.
so we'll take a
Can't,
quick
that's
break,
just-
and we'll come back after that.
I know this.
Yeah, but I can deceive the way out.
Wow, what a cliffhanger! I wonder what's going to happen next time. Seriously, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening in. If you liked what you heard, share us with your friends. If you hated what you heard, share us with your enemies. Seriously, though, like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll find out what happens to Double Doubles and Dragons next time.